What is a business outcome-driven data strategy? A business outcome-driven data strategy is a strategy that's very holistic and comprehensive and builds capabilities. And as you'll see through these series, it starts from the business outcomes that your company wants to achieve, then moves to the business processes that need to be enabled to achieve those outcomes, and finally, the data requirements and the data capabilities. And you'll hear me use the term capabilities quite a bit, because capabilities is really what we're driving here. Capabilities like people management capabilities, like the business capabilities, the organizational capabilities. That's how it's so comprehensive. And at SAP, because we developed this business outcome mentality and we had it built into our data strategy, it allows us to have a considerable amount of success with our program and to change the culture. We were able to get significant business sponsorship for our program. It allowed us to keep our stakeholders and our senior executives involved. We could demonstrate over 75 million euros worth of benefit. We won 5 industry awards during that time. And so we were able to significantly show value to the company and to pinpoint it to the business outcomes that we had to achieve. So before we start diving into the process, here's some guiding principles. The first is to know and manage your most important data. And in that declaration, I mean be broad, right? It doesn't always have to be your master data. It can be your transactional data, your reference data, your analytic data, your innovation data. What matters most to your business outcomes, that should be under the data strategy. Second guiding principle is that know all the capabilities that has to be developed, not just the technical capabilities. Third, know what story you want to tell so that you establish the right baseline measures and you're able to tell your story over time. Fourth is you want to implement your data strategy with projects throughout the years. And you want to, if possible, look at large transformation initiatives that are already going on in your company and implement data work streams within it. Fifth guiding principle is to have a comprehensive end-to-end data architecture and a technical roadmap to implement that architecture. And sixth, measure, communicate, and sell the strategy often. That means knowing what story you want to tell, baselining those metrics from the beginning, and being able to tell the story with your metrics. So who plays a role in developing a data strategy? Well, I usually find that there's at least a data champion in your organization, even if they're not named the head of data at that time. Someone who's going to carry the case to why a data strategy is important. But really, everyone plays a role in the data strategy. The business has to play a role in managing their data, and IT has to play a role, and management plays a role in managing your data. And all of these important roles and responsibilities are defined in the RACI model as part of your data strategy. I'm often asked, what are the common missteps in a data program and in establishing a data strategy? And I would say the first one is having a tools-only data strategy and not covering the other important capabilities. The second misstep is not having a business sponsor, an accountable business executive who will play an active role in supporting your program with their peers. The third is overcommitting and under-delivering because you haven't set the right scope and the right priorities in your data strategy. And lastly, it's not communicating effectively, using data speak instead of business speak in order to communicate the value of the program. We data professionals like to use measurements like number of duplicates removed or number of errors fixed. But those terms are really meaningless to business people. And I've had the very experience of business leaders telling me, it's great that you have these numbers, Maria, but what does it mean to me? And what processes are going to be changed? And what can I do differently now that I couldn't do before because of these errors? That's what it means to have metrics that really matter. These missteps will invariably lead to very short-lived data programs and a very ineffective data strategy. What are some keys to success in your data program that you want to call out in your data strategy? The first is having clear, accepted accountability model, and that it's identified in your data strategy what the roles and responsibilities are going to be for business, for IT, for the managers and your executives. The second is having a multi-year funding. This is not going to be a one-year program. You need to make sure that you've got the expectation set that this is going to be a multi-year transformational project. The third is demonstrating the business value, learning how to communicate to different audiences and knowing what story you want to tell. And finally, don't forget the change management, the people side, and make sure that that's clearly spelled out in your data strategy and in your ongoing program.